What is going on? My name's Isaac. You're watching Firstborn Adventures. Today we get to test out our new solar panels that we bought, and we get to install our new battery. Let's get right into it. So already, you might be asking yourself, well, why do you need a new battery? Why do you need new solar panels? Well, if you haven't already watched last video of me kind of explaining why I bought these two things here in front of me, you should probably go watch that video. It's right over there. Wait a second, I can't see it, but it's there somewhere on my channel. You just gotta go and find it and watch it. We have 200 watts of Renogy solar, and we have an off-brand Chinese-made 400 amp hour massive battery. To be honest with you, when I was looking at it on the computer, I kind of forgot to even look at the dimensions of this thing, and now that it's here in front of me and I got the box, I was just absolutely amazed on how big it is. I kind of feel like I should have gone with maybe two 200 ampers, but you know, we're past that, so we're gonna send it now. But right here, we've got Renogy 200 watts of solar. Each panel is 100 watts. It's got its own solar charger on the back of it. So when you buy most portable solar panels, they'll come with a charge controller, and these panels come with their own charge controller. I wouldn't have got these panels if they didn't, because if you don't have one of these, a charge controller, you're gonna have problems with battery overheating. You're gonna have problems with being overcharging. It'll just not run exactly how it needs to. It's the most efficient when it has a charge controller. It also comes with its own MC4, which is this, to alligator clips, just like your regular jumper cables for your car. So with those, you can plug directly from the panel directly into your battery, so then you can have solar panels like I have on my roof, and then you can have your own panels that are separate. So you can have two separate systems, one that is fixed and then one that is movable. I think the movable is better. The more I've been looking into it, the more I've talked to people that know more about the solar stuff, they agree as well that having the portable stuff is more beneficial, especially if you're going to be camping, because then you can use them in a way to maximize the amount of efficiency that you're getting for amps. As the day goes by, you can move the panels around, where as the ones that are stuck to the top of your van, you can move your van around, but you can't change the pitch of them or the angle, which is pretty beneficial if you need all that amperage. Onto the battery that we got. So this here is just an Amazon bought 12 volt 400 amp hour LiFePO4 lithium battery. It's a 5120 watt, so quite a lot. It's just got your standard connections on top, obviously positive and negative. I say we quit jabbering and we get into installing some of this stuff, but first we got to take the old stuff out. Alright, now we're crammed in here in the back of the van. Our first step is going to be removing this, which would be our positive and our negative to our solar panels going into our current charge controller. And then this is the positive and negative going to the battery. So before we do anything, let's take that stuff out real quick. Now that we have those two out, I'm just going to take them out because there's nothing going to the charger anymore. It's just ground wires, so we shouldn't have any power there. Now we can come over to our battery. We can take this stuff off. Now we got to start by taking this stuff off and that stuff off. Then we can get our battery out of here. Now that we have the battery out, I'm gonna take this bracket out and take this bracket out and leave this one back here, maybe, possibly. I just need to test fit the new battery in here so we can see how it's gonna fit, if it's gonna fit. All right, we got all of these out. All the little hinges for securing the battery in. Obviously we have nothing going, but I'm kind of just mocking this thing up right now just to see kind of where I'm gonna have it sit. I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably have it somewhere in this area. I'm not gonna be able to have it all the way far back like the other battery, just because it's absolutely massive and I can't get it in there that far because then I won't be able to get my wire connections on, but something like that. All right, let's get this baby mounted. All right, so we got one here, we got another one here. Obviously we got two more back there, so we got to put one more on this side and one more on that side, and then this thing will be good. I might take these ones off and drill a couple holes just to get something so I can get a big fat zip tie through there so I can have some type of hold down on them rough roads. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a hole in here right at the bottom of it where it meets the floor, so then we can fit this massive zip tie. Then once we get that zip tie through, we can use that as a tie down. It's not stupid if it works, right? Now we can get that reamed out so it's one big hole. All right, we got it out. One big hole. Let's fit it. Works just fine. Got all the little faces on them cleaned up with the old file. Slap them in, test it out. All right, let me show you the progress we made here. So we got all four of our brackets mounted. We got our holes drilled. We got our zip tie strung through there. So now all we got to do is connect one more of these long ones and we can fully secure this bad boy down. The way it is, I mean, I could shake the nuts out of this camper right now and it would stay there. But we're gonna get that tied down, then we can hook it up. Now you just gotta slap it. That ain't going anywhere. Now that we got this thing tied down, we got the brackets, hold it in its place. Now we can start to hook this baby up and hopefully not start a fire. Now he's got to tighten this little puppy up, because I had to loosen that up so then I could move this around. So now I'm running into a bit of a little issue here. So this thing here, I'm pretty sure my TR16 screen is what this little stuff is there. If I'm correct, I think that's the shunt. I'm not 100%, but pretty sure that's the way that my screen reads my battery level. But what I'm running into is this. Obviously, if I put that on top of there, you can see that there's a nut underneath, and this itself is not really long enough to sit on top like that and go all the way through. It would go through, but this nut on the bottom would be sitting on the battery, which realistically it would be ideal if it could be all the way over here. I'm gonna do some thinking real quick. All right, so we come to a conclusion. We're gonna have to go down to the hardware store and get ourselves a new screw. A longer screw with a few washers, just big enough or enough space to where we can get that nut to sit off the top of the battery, because if we do that right now and lock it in there, it's going to go from sitting flat to cockeyed, and we don't want that. So before we even do that, I'm going to clean some of my tools up that I got out that I'm not using anymore. And I'm going to change my shirt and probably get in some shorts because it is hot out today. We got ourselves a change of clothes. Let's hit the hardware store and see what they got. Pulling in here, sneak right on the other side of this guy. Made her. Let's go in here real quick. Alright, we got our original. We got the one that I just bought. We got a little bit longer one. And we got a pile of washers. Hopefully that does it. Alright, now that we got a new terminal bolt, let's see if this thing works. So the plan is I'm going to take all of these off, except for those two, and put that through there. Grab this pile of washers here. See if we can tighten this thing down enough. Gotta grab a different wrench real quick. Alright, we got a different wrench. Now the real question is, this gonna be a good enough connection? Which, the way it's looking, it really doesn't look that great. We've got some play in there. Must be bottomed out in the terminal already. So basically we got about one washer short. Not good. Not good. We're gonna take that off. I just took the ground wire back off. Shut the van back up. And back to the hardware store we go. I think I'm just gonna get 2 more washers and hopefully that should be enough to where we can get it tight. This is definitely not the ideal way to be doing this because you're working with a battery terminal and it might, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. All I know is that adding that much washers in there might disturb how much power we're getting, or how much we're reading, but what do? You gotta do what you gotta do. Take 2. Back from the hardware store. We got 2 more washers. I'm hoping that that is enough. Oh yeah, that thing's on there now. We should be good to hook our solar back up. Throw that on there for the fuzz of it. Throw this on there. Okay, fine, can't have that on there. Call her good. Took our solar and our solar back up and see how that's looking. We're gonna have to switch our solar to lithium, and then we got to change our DC to DC charger to lithium, and then we got to figure out how to change our T16 I believe that's what it's called, my little screen. I gotta switch that over so that's the right amp hours, and then yeah, we'll go from there. It did not get any easier to work on this thing. That is for sure. Putting this battery in my way. See if I got that in there right. Nope. Back her back out. Little twist. Oh my gosh. This is very uncomfortable. That one's tight. When they were building this, they probably could have made this wire like another inch longer, because boy is that thing just barely long enough. Alright, we got that hooked back up. Let me show you what's going on here. So right now we have, it's on gel, it won't focus. So what we need to do is hold this button down until that starts blinking, and then switch it until we see lithium. There's lithium. We got lithium, we got 12 volt. So now this is switched over to lithium. Wait for it to register here and see what it wants to do. The issue I was having before with my other battery, I was messing with this thing and it would not want to get out of float mode. I changed it to user mode and tried to put my own settings in, and it was kind of working. Let's see what's going on here. That's awesome. We're getting 9 amps, almost 10 amps of charging right now, and it is staying consistent. That is what you want to see. You want this to be consistent. So with my last battery, this would not stay consistent. It would constantly switch from MPT to float, which when it's floating, that means that the charger, the controller, is constantly thinking that the battery is fully charged, and it obviously was not. Alright, so right now, so far, I got my charger controller switched over to lithium. Now I'm going through my book that came with the van, trying to find, where is it? The manual for the charge controller, because I need to figure out how to switch that so that it knows I went from 100 amp hours to 400 amp hours. Supposedly I have to do that, which I'm pretty positive I do have to, but I don't see in the settings on my charge controller how to do that. So I'm gonna look through this book real quick and try and figure that out. Alright, so we did a little bit of research, and right now I've kind of come to a conclusion that I looked through the settings, or through the book, and I can't find any way to automatically set it to 400 amp hours from 100, which I was never able to find that before. And I also came into the van and I also turned my inverter on. I turned my fridge on, and right now you can see that we're charging at about 3 amps, which that is the remainder of what we're using with just the 2 solar panels that I have on there right now, because obviously we've got the fridge on, we've got the inverter on, so that's going to pull a little bit just having the fridge running. Can't even tell if the fridge is on. Is it on? Should be on. It was on. But yeah, no, so right now Pretty sure my battery's at like 13.4 volts, and I think when I just looked, it should be about like 14.2, 14.4. At the absolute max, I think it's like 14.6 volts for that battery. So right now, we're doing pretty good. We're learning. I might make a phone call to try and make sure that everything is actually in tip-top shape, but for now, I'm going to switch that DC to DC charger over to lithium, and then from there, we're going to set up our other solar panels and connect that so we got 400 watts of solar charging that battery to try and just test some things out and just see how it works. We're going to go from there. Well, we got everything switched over to lithium. We got the DC to DC switch to lithium. We got the charge controller in the van switched to lithium. We also have our new solar panels hooked up right now to the battery. And would you listen to that? I don't know why it keeps doing this. So every time my compressor on the fridge turns on, my inverter freaks out like it doesn't have enough voltage. But then when I kick it back on, my fridge will kick back on for a little bit. Not exactly sure what's going on with that. My inverter does seem to be working. I don't know if you can hear that, but the fridge is running, so I don't know why the inverter keeps triggering and tripping like that. I think we're going to wrap up today's video on that note. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. If you like this stuff, we're definitely going to have a lot more of it. Hopefully in the next couple days we can head out to South Dakota. As long as everything works properly, I get my battery charged fully so that my system is running correctly at maximum capacity, and then I just got to figure out this voltage issue with my my fridge. So other than that, greatly appreciate it if you made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.